Hello. Man, it's been so long since I've put myself out there and created, and it's necessary. The question I've been asking myself is how much longer am I going to choose to sit on the sidelines of my own life? Like, what type of perfection is a bitch looking for before she could start to really live and show up the way I'm like scratching. I'm like clawing at at myself within my body. I'm like, please, I just want to create. I just want to do. I just want to live. I just actually want to have fun. And somewhere along the lines, creating has become this overdone, over planned thing where nothing feels enough. And along that narrative, I've started to believe that about myself, that I'm not enough, that I'm never ready, that yes, I'm preparing, yes, I'm doing things, because what the fuck else am I spending my time on? What else am I doing in my day but preparing, but fueling myself with wisdom, with new skills, with new gems? Like, what else? So it's like, if that's not enough, then what the fuck else? And that brings me to today's episode in this series of Sacred Return, where it's all about coming back home to yourself. Like, it really is an intentional, day by day, each day, every 24 hours, you elect to cancel the noise. You elect to silence everything. You elect to do away with the distractions, and you pay attention only to what matters most. What are your values? What's important to you? If these 24 hours were the only 24 that you had left, how would you elect to utilize them? Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for electing to share some space with me, share some time with me. My name is Raven. I am a health and wellness coach, and I am your self mastery guide. Really, like, I'm here just to show you how powerful you are, to remind you that, and to give you tools and practical know-how of how to tap back into that shit when the world tries to tell you differently. So, as I mentioned, I am at a place in life where I've been questioning myself. I feel like God has been testing me huge, bro. Huge. Your girl, you know, got engaged this year, okay? I will be getting married later this year to my man, okay, of 8 years this year. And that's been a beautiful journey, and we've been through a lot. Like, we've grown together, and to get to this place, it just feels so divine. It really does. It feels like our timing. It feels like allowing God to show us when, where, and how, and getting us here to this point of I do's, right? Beautiful journey. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have this belief that when God puts together something divine, the world, the worldliness, the evil, if you will, of the world wants so badly to tear that apart. I say all that to say, I feel like I've been tested, bro. I've been faced with parts of myself that I know that I don't want to bring into a marriage. And God has been just patient with me. like, hey, we could work on this together. If you come to me, if you seek my word, if you just really touch on what it is you're struggling with and have faith in me, believe in me, choose me as your Lord. That has been the testament of like, how much do I trust God? And not just with the things that I've been facing about myself, from it being mirrored from my relationship, but also about like my career. I recently left my 9 to 5. Amen to that, because your girl was so unhappy. Like, I recognized a trend that had been happening in my life as it relates to like the type of jobs I was getting. I've been a coach since 2019, right? So 7 years, and I love it. I love what I do. I know I'm aligned to that. I know that my purpose in life is to help others reclaim their power and to share stories and wisdom that liberate people from themselves, bro. Like, that is my path, and that is what I'm so deeply passionate about. I don't doubt that for a fucking second. So the last 7 years, I have attracted jobs that illuminate that gift within me, and it's been great. And I've learned from every job I've had. I've liked some more than others in this recent one, but I recognize I am full. Like, I am brimming, I'm overflowing with untapped potential. And for forever, that's always been something that has nagged at me of like, man, I could be doing this. I want to do this. Like, I have all these cool ideas for my community. I want to create events, and I want to create retreats, and I want to build this in my community to help them, rejuvenate. I want to help them feel restored. And I have all these ideas. And I was waiting or hoping that the jobs that I had would help me to bring that to life. And each job I've had over the last few years has felt like I am stifling my fucking growth. Like, this, they feel like just jobs. They feel like just a means to an end. And again, being in a season where I feel like God is like, look now. I know we've always had a relationship, Raven. I know we've always, been in communication, but I need you to really come to me, because you're trying to do things by your own understanding, and I'm curious. I don't know. Perhaps that's why you're feeling unfulfilled. Maybe that's why you're feeling not enough, because you're trying to go about things in a very worldly way, when what I have put in you is divine. It's divine. And I am so tired. Like, I'm exhausted. I am beyond burnt out. I am put down the discouragement, put down the like, what the fuckness. Like, I'm at this point where I'm like, I am willing I refuse to not face my fucking fears, bro. I refuse to look at my potential and do nothing with it. That is what I fear. More than the fear of looking stupid, more than the fear of, looking like I'm trying. Like, more than the fear of putting myself out there and being vulnerable and possibly fucking up. Like, those are the fears that stopped me. Those are the fears that told me, keep preparing. Like, keep trying. Like, you're not ready yet, but you will be if you just keep going. If you just keep, like, perfecting some shit, then you'll be ready. And here I am, still not feeling ready, but knowing, I have such a burning knowing of like, that shit's a lie. That shit's such a lie. the narrative that says, hey, to be great, you have to be great to even show up. But how else is a pearl formed but under pressure and grit? How else is a diamond formed in all of its brilliance? How is that formed but under pressure? Like, I've noticed that I have stepped back again. I've been on the fucking sidelines of my own life because I've been like, I'm not ready. It's like I'm playing double dutch and I'm like, this is gonna be it, guys. And it never fucking came until now. And the sacred return for me is becoming or realizing, really, because I'm already the love of my life, but coming back home to myself, falling deeply in love with myself, so much that when I hear negative thoughts, so much so that when I hear doubt, I'm like, don't say that shit about Raven. Don't say that shit. That girl right there, she ain't nothing to play with. She's God's favorite, okay? She's fine, intelligent, and she got that shit on her, period. Like, she's really about that. Like, whatever she does it with, like, full tenacity. She's all of that. Like, I want to be so in love with myself that when fear tries to speak to me, I know for real that shit is not my friend. That's no one that loves me. That's a voice of worldliness, and that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me whatsoever. And finally distancing myself from the things that don't feel aligned, because again, I've been feeling so unfulfilled, and more than anything, that's the sacred return. Like, that's what it's about. Is this is your life. This is your life. And I know that circumstance gets fucking real. I know that life gets fucking wicked. I know that a lot of times shit is unfair. I know that too, what's going on in the world, it makes you feel like, why dream? Why bother? I fucking get it. But here you are still. Here we are still. Breathing with the day. Free at that. May I get that in a lot of ways. You could not feel free, but we not in a jail cell, and we not 6 feet under. Like, how can we live in a way that is fulfilling? Because to keep choosing the limitations that we put on ourselves or the ones of the world, but taking that in as if nothing can change, what is that doing for us? I know it ain't doing shit for me. In fact, it actually brings on more guilt, because I'm like, man, even like in spite of the circumstances that I'm faced with that make things hard, like financially, right? Like, groceries is high, gas is high, and I got bills. I have debt that I am paying down, trying to pay down, and income doesn't match what I need to pay. So, like, real circumstance that makes it hard to feel fully embodied in living and in happiness or in joy and contentment. Like, those things have to be a choice. So what can we do in our day-to-day that does away with the distractions, that does away with the habits and the things that we do that we think are good or helpful, but they actually keep you from living the life that actually feels fulfilling? Like, what are the habits that are just feelers, bro? Like, the habits that you do that are cool, but like, whole time, weeks have gone by and you're like, man, I've been saying I wanted to start that project. Man, I'm so ready to start that hobby. You know, I want to build my skill in needlework. I want to, start doing poetry. I want to build up my public speaking skills. But you keep doing other things. And not to say those other things aren't important, but you continue to do them and you get further away from the thing that would actually ground you, that would actually make you feel fulfilled, the shit that actually make you feel like life is worth living. Like, and that's a tender spot right there, right? Is because it kind of reflects that. I know for me, while I'm so grateful, I have so many things to be grateful for, bro. Like, again, in spite of like circumstance, like, God loves me. God don't miss when it come to me. Like, I am so covered. But I recognize that I keep choosing things that make me feel like, what the fuck is life, bro? I keep choosing thoughts that make me feel that way too. And I recognize that in order for me to live my life to the fullest, not saying every day has to be fucking perfect, not every day has to be gung-ho. That's not even what I'm striving for. What I want more than anything is just to no longer abandon myself. No longer to abandon the things that really matter to me. Again, I recognize that there are things in our day that we just have to do. Like, this is on point, but slightly a sidebar of like cooking, cleaning, getting your area, your home together throughout the day, right? Like, that takes time. Doing laundry, that takes time. Like, all a privilege, because at least you have a home to clean, at least you have food to cook, at least you have clothes to wash. Like, all a privilege. But there's responsibility in that, and to upkeep that, right? But that's in addition to all the other things. And again, this sounds so small, but it be those little things that I know for me can sometimes feel like distractions. You know what I mean? Like, this goes into perfectionism of like, of course, keeping my space feeling safe and clean, and keeping my things orderly, and having nourishing meals prepared for myself. Absolutely. But to what degree do they start to impede on me giving time to the things that I value? Because yes, I value those things, but those are not the only things that I value. I value also creativity. I value too new experiences, putting myself out there, meeting new people, building community, sharing my gifts with people, bigging people up, empowering people, giving people tools and resources to help them master themselves. Like, I value all of that too. So how can I start to make more time for those things? Because right now, or over the past several months, there's been an imbalance. There's been an imbalance of giving more time to the things that, yes, they're important, but baby, there's other things that I value too. And should today be my last fucking day, I just recognize that my greatest fear, more than the little fears, is to live a life unlived. To live a life where I didn't take chances. To live a life where I didn't go out there and make something of it. You know what I mean? Like, that bothers me. Like, that bothers me, man. And I'm sure like a lot of us can relate, right? Like, social media will show you so many people living, doing their own path. This ain't about like who has and who doesn't. It's more about like, man, they're living and doing what they want. I want to live and do what I want too. And bringing this back home to like, the sacred return is about you falling in love with yourself, you choosing yourself, you getting very clear on what you value, and you prioritizing what's important. Because in this day and age, there's so many things on our plate. There's so many things that we have to consider. There's so many triggers that we experience in a day. In a fucking day. There's so many fucking thought loops that we get stuck in because of the environment we live in. But in spite of that, how can we embody courage? How can we embody faith and trust that in spite of what the fuck is going on, I can still live my life. I can still live for me, because that is what I'm on this earth to do. Not to suffer, not to be filled with anxiety, not to be in doubt all the fucking time, not to always think of the worst case scenario or think of the worst thing that can fucking happen. That is not what I'm here to do. God didn't even create me to do that. He didn't create me like that. He didn't create a spirit of fear. He didn't create any of that. So that is not what I'm here to do. Although that's what the fuck it's been. And so how do we change that? And so what I've been doing for this journey that I'm on of like getting back to myself, loving myself deeply, profoundly, is one, deciding what my non-negotiables are, because fuck all of that. Yes, there's always going to be something to do. Yes, I'm going to have to cook, clean, and laundry and pay bills. Okay, yes, but baby, I'm here to live too. I'm here to live a life that fills me up too. So my non-negotiables for me are, I'm going to move my body. I'm going to take care of me, because there's been too many seasons of heaviness and sadness and depression where I totally neglected myself. And when shit is crazy with the world, or shit is crazy in my life with circumstance, I have neglected myself. At one point, I was over 200 pounds, and I'm only 5'4". You know what I mean? Like, I have a short torso too, so like that much weight on me, it's a lot. It's a lot. As so was the depression and the heaviness and the mental load. And when I look back, man, I just give so much love to that version of me, because she was going through it and all she knew was to abandon herself. She didn't know her value for real. Like, she didn't know how to alchemize the heaviness that she was receiving from the world, from relationships, from herself. Like, so one of my non-negotiables is like, nah, I don't neglect my body, I don't neglect my mind, and I don't neglect my spirit. So in the likeness of that, it's, I'm moving my body, I'm doing a walk. If I'm not doing a walk, I'm working out. For my mind, I'm in my Bible. As I mentioned earlier, like, I've always been close to God. I've always known God. We've always been in a relationship. But this season of life, like I told y'all earlier, your girl has been tried. Your girl has been face to face with my shadow side. Face to face with ways about myself that, again, I have compassion for, but I do not want to carry into the next season of my life. So I've been in my Bible, because I recognize too, or I've been learning that a lot of times we get distracted and we are also misled because we are not very clear on God's word or his promises for us. So it makes it discernment. While we can say we have discernment, if you're struggling with fear, doubt, insecurity, I would suggest getting clear on God's word. That's just me. God's not for everyone, though he is. But I get that, you know, religion and all of that, not to get deep in that, but like, know a higher power, you know? And for me, the higher power is God, and getting clear on his word is really helping me to discern the spirit of fear versus, you know, God, you know, versus how he's made me, who he's made me to be. And that's been so helpful. And I recognize too, especially going into marriage, I couldn't imagine I couldn't imagine doing it without God and his word, not just being in relationship with God, but like his word, because there's going to be a lot of trying times. And if I'm just leaning on my own if I'm only leaning on my own understanding, if I'm leaning too only on my flesh, I'm gonna be triggered, and I'm going to possibly make choices and say things that are not aligned to the divine calling on my life. So I find it so vital and so freeing and comforting to know that his word is there for me. So that's been helping me with my spirit, with my mind. I've also been surrounding myself with narratives and friends and communities that are encouraging to the kind of life I want to live. That with marriage, that with my body, that with my mind. So often, like the relationship we have with ourselves, it's tainted because the world says you need to be this, you have to be this, and it's like, no, create your own narrative. Who do you want to be? How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? And then make everything aligned to that. You know what I mean? So like loving my body as it is, knowing that yes, I'm on this journey to get leaner, stronger, more agile, more flexible. And as I'm on that journey, I still love the body I have right now. I love the body that I had 3 years ago, because my body is a vessel of love. It has nothing to do with this worldly place. My body has gotten me through so much. So creating healthier narratives too in this sacred return journey that says that I am enough. Because the whole purpose too about coming back home to yourself is making your inner sanctuary a safe place, the safest place, because it's the only place. It's the only place. Not to say you won't have family or friends or your partner or community that you can go to that you feel safe in and feel held by, right? Your relationship with God also, right? But in this life, feeling safe with yourself, I can't think of a better or a bigger accomplishment. I can't think of a more fulfilling experience as a human to have than to say, I feel safe within myself. I don't battle myself within my mind. I don't take every thought as law. When I hear thoughts that say I'm not enough, or that I'm ugly, or that I'm not deserving, or what if they leave, or what if I get hurt, or what if this never happens for me, I don't battle with those thoughts, because that's not of me, that's not of God. So I choose to have faith and to really lean on that. And so much so that you do have this calm, you do have this safety that feels good to be in, and that you're not constantly trying to eject yourself out of your fucking body because your nervous system is always fucking rattled. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's another thing, working on nervous system regulation, and that is deep breathing. That's me doing my walks, sometimes with no music, just listening to nature, just talking to God, also like healing in water, like taking baths and speaking to the water as I lay in it. I do a lot of like grounding work, laying on the floor and like laying on my back or my stomach and just breathing. And also like focusing on mantras that align to my spirit, so again, focusing on my nervous system. I've also been very intentional with doing things or starting messy, recognizing that what I want wants me, and that I'm allowed to start now. So giving myself permission and knowing that like it's not about me being perfect, it's about me being available. It's about me giving myself permission to live and to do and to experience and to try. Like, fuck all of this other shit. Fuck all this perfectionist shit, because that shit will never get you in the driver's seat of your life, ever. It hasn't worked for me. It hasn't worked for me. In fact, it's actually made the fall from grace that much harder, because here I am trying so fucking hard to be perfect. And when I finally do try to step out, it don't take much for me to feel like I failed. It didn't take much for me to feel like, damn, that wasn't perfect. And the result of that is I tried less. Because if it took all of that, fuck it. I don't want to try again, because I did all of this to be perfect, and then something really small, but that felt very significant, made me feel like I failed. I say all this to say it's a fucking joke, and that returning back home to myself is about honoring my journey, the messy parts, the vulnerable parts, the parts where I just don't fucking know it, I don't get it, and that being okay. I'm honoring, me trying. I'm honoring me figuring it out, and giving myself permission to go through the journey, however long it takes, and to be my own support system. Again, to love myself so deeply, so profoundly, that each day, whatever I go through feels like I'm being held. Not only by God, but by myself. That like, hey baby, ooh, you doing what you can, and you did beautifully. You showed up. Oh, that's something that we would like to tweak. Okay, let's tweak it. How can I best support you? Like, man, I'm talking to myself like my best lover. Because what's the alternative? I've already lived that. I've lived 32 years of that. I'm not doing that no more. That shit's so exhausting. That shit's a bottomless pit, and I'm not going back. And I pray you don't go back. I pray that you know that you can choose right now to return home to yourself. And you can choose to love yourself so deeply that each new day, you take it and you create your new baseline of how you want to feel, how you want to see the world, and how you want to see your life. You can create that baseline. You don't have to wait for the day to tell you. You can create that shit. You create it, and then you set out actions. You set out a path in that day that aligns with that. And no one's saying it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. No, it's just fucking worth it. Bottom line. Like, let's stop going back and forth. Just like we need to stop going back and forth with doubt, back and forth with fucking fear. Stop it. Give it up. Give it the fuck up, and be all in on you. This is the sacred return. So I'm grateful that you're even electing to share this space and share your journey with me. In the comments, share it with me, like, what's this chapter for you? What's important? What are you getting intentional about? Like, what are the values that you are saying, I want to live my 24 hours by? Share it, because again, we're all going through something. We're all trying to come back home to ourselves and feel at peace, feel calm, to feel regulated, to feel supported, to feel loved, to feel chosen. All those things, to feel all those things, but more importantly, to feel it from ourselves. So I love you. Love you deeper. Love yourself deeper. Love yourself more. Like, be your best lover. This life is yours to live. So I see you. Keep doing it. Keep going. You're doing a beautiful job. Until next time, okay? See you in the next episode. Bye.